Hey everybody, this is Alex.
And this is Bosh. Welcome to Fool's Odyssey. This is episode 40, and today we've just watched Civil War.
Yes, Captain America Civil War, the start of Phase 3.
Mm-hmm.
Now, for my prediction was that I think Boshka would overall like this movie, so...
I did. I liked it. The action is definitely way more polished now. Like, now each action kind of shows the capability of the heroes, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Like, for example, like Iron Man would, like, on several encounter, right? When part of his, like, malfunctioning, he can't move as well. Or how now Captain America would, like, parkour with his shield. How Winter Soldier would, like, do a break or whatever with his left hand and whatnot. Like, not just a normal action scene that you can watch Jackie Chan do.
Yes.
Kind of thought, yeah.
Everyone had a gimmick and they used their gimmicks.
Yeah, and they used it on both just, like, story progression or in the action scene, which is bueno.
Okay, now, of course, the whole point of this movie is Team Cap or Team Iron Man. As you already know, since the very beginning of time, before mankind even evolved into humans, I've been asking Bosca, were you Team Cap or Team Iron Man? And he's always confused because he didn't know which team to pick. So, after watching this movie, which team are you on?
I'm never a Jedi. I'm always a Sith. So, for me, I would not bound myself with with the contract. And this time, I don't agree with the Iron Man. Like I'm Captain America team right now. Yeah.
Whoa, really? Because you always say that you're a lawful person.
Oh yeah, it is. Don't get me wrong. Because I was thinking like the whole thing is good, but the thing is like the position is reversed. Kind of like in a wrong way. It feels that way to me because in a sense, the Avengers are strong. Even individually, they could be a problem if they really want to. But instead, they're using it as for good things, right? They try to help people, and oh yeah, they make a mess here and there. But here's the thing: if they weren't there, the bigger mess, the bigger casualty would happen, right? So they should be the one who held the power, right? What the world tried to do right now is they're trying to bind them, right? Trying to tie them down and trying to keep them on a leash without really remembering who actually has the power. You know what I mean?
Well, that's the whole point. They want them to take accountability and responsibility for their actions.
Well, the thing is, if they don't do it, the bigger problem will happen. You know what I mean?
Right.
Imagine in the New York thing, they don't do anything and the alien invades. What responsibility are you going to do?
Right.
Okay, we're talking about responsibility. What about rewards? We did this for something. We tried our best to do the thing. Why are we still asked for accountability? You know what I mean? You guys don't pay us, kind of like that. You know what I mean? You don't pay us. And we're doing our goddamn best. This is a volunteer job.
No, they're sponsored by Tony Stark. They're sponsored by Stark Industries. But you remember what the Vision said? He said that because their power invites challenge.
You alright?
Yeah.
So?
So meaning that
That's the thing, right?
because of them,
Yeah.
people want to challenge their position of power. Thus, they're the reasons why all this trouble is caused.
Oh yeah, but even if they don't do this power thing, problems still exist, right? All this big problem is happening. It's just like sooner or later, right? It just happens earlier because they were there to block it, so to say, right? To get in the way of the evil. Oh yeah, they definitely got stronger, but the Avengers also there to like fight them back, right? You see what I'm saying?
But do you think they should be more considerate of what they're doing? Because as the main villain in this movie said, right, after Age of Ultron, they just finished their job and went home, didn't give a shit about nothing else.
What else do you want to do?
Help staying clean, start a fundraiser for their families and all those people who lost something.
Why would that matter? I'm sorry to say this, but why the fuck would that matter? Like, I don't know. I'm not here to fucking change a diaper.
Right? It's not about that, though.
But I don't know.
But
But for me, I'll put it that way. Like, here's the thing. If I have power and I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna fight and try to, like, save the day of, like, this big thing, right? Oh, yeah, there's, like, collateral damage and shit. But, okay, well... I'm done my job. The threat is gone. I'm done. I'm tired too. Peace.
Wow.
I think that's completely acceptable. Don't you think?
I mean, you gotta think of like if it happened to you, right? Say that same situation happened to you.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You would feel differently, or you'd be like, well, that's my luck.
Well, the thing is, like, if I'm still alive, I mean, I'm alive because of them, right?
Maybe.
Have you thought about it that way?
Maybe.
I'm alive. I lost my family. Okay, oh shit, that sucked. But I'm still alive, right? Because of them. If they weren't there, would I still be alive? Would my family be alive?
Let's see. What if you're like...
Did you ever thought of it that way?
What if you're trapped under a building, but you're still alive, but the threat is gone?
Yeah.
would you still be like, oh, thank God I'm alive? I'm trapped under this rubble.
Well, am I alive?
Yeah.
That's the question, right?
Yeah. You're just stuck in.
For how long?
You're trapped there until someone finds you.
Well, I'm dead, right? Or nobody at all.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, then so be it, right?
But you're
It
gonna
was
be.
my weak. It's my fault because I'm weak, right?
Wow.
It is though. It is though. It is though. Don't you think?
I don't think so.
They have no obligation to help you. Remember that.
But
And you have no right to blame them for not helping you.
I have the right to blame them.
You don't
for
pay them.
causing the trouble.
You don't pay them. That's what I'm saying.
But
What do you mean causing the trouble?
Tony Stark invented Ultron. He's the reason why Sokovia is like that because of him, because of his hubris.
Yeah, that's like one of the thing. Okay, so well, he made a mistake. Shit happens. But Ultron is not the only thing that he fucked up. You know what I mean?
Oh no, he fucked up
Him as a
in 3 movies
Oh
already.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Him as a he as a weapon dealer too. He made all this kind of stuff. He killed a lot of people, and Ultron is just one other weapon he made, right?
Yeah, but this is on a
Like-
more global scale this time.
Yeah. Well, again, as I was saying, like for me, whatever. Those who died because they're weak, simple as that, right? Don't want to die a dog's death? Well, get some power. Get enough power to be able to protect yourself and the loved one. That's the way it is.
Interesting. That's kind of
Because if you're weak and you're still managed to alive, you know, like if you're weak and you're still alive, that means something stronger out there is keeping you alive, right?
wow. That's interesting how you're team captain, but for like a very completely different reason than what most people would
Yeah.
say.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because that's my point of view. Yeah. Were you? Well, how about you?
I would still be team captain, but I would be mainly because of what Captain America said, right? Like we don't have the right to choose anymore, forced to be in certain situations. Yeah.
Because like for me, like in that condition is that they do what they do, and then the thing is like, you know, how do I say this? But like with Tony Stark is that now the country decided how they move, right?
Yeah.
The world decided how they move.
Yes.
So they don't have the freedom to help anyone by their own volition.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
They can't, and shit like that, right?
Yeah.
So by that moment, there's just nothing but a pawn, right?
Mm-hmm.
While in Captain America position, is like, well, I'm gonna save everything that I can save within my reach, and I will save him, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's the one part that I agree, because the thing about this thing that I don't agree with Tony Stark is that he, again, it's like it's this country's, again, especially it's like it's portrayed even better in this movie. They're weak. National defense means nothing.
Oh yeah.
This country, the world is garbage. You know, they're weaklings that I can't do anything, and they still dare to impose that. That's like the thing that come across to me. I'm like, that's why like earlier when I watched the movie, you're like, Sith Lord. I'm like, you don't know exactly. I'm like, serious, absolute power. Because I don't know. Because for me, I don't know. Again, from my point of view personally, like I don't have that much power either, right? As a human. But I agree with Captain America in the sense that I'm gonna help the people that I can help.
So okay.
But that comes with the extension of that the people that I can help, I will not help.
Okay. So assuming that you somehow had superpowers, you would help people.
Yeah.
Okay. Got you.
I would help people, but the people
see.
that I can help.
Okay.
If by doing so some people died, oh well,
Yeah.
you know.
I mean that's part of the job of being a hero is you can't save everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
That's right.
I thought
You're
you
human.
would just leave them alone and be like, well, that's shit. out of luck.
No.
Okay.
If I could help them, I would help them. Even if I don't have superpower. If I could help people, I would help people. But if I can help them, I'll leave them to death. Like I will.
Okay. That's good to know. Okay. So that wraps up our overall impression of the movies with no spoilers.
Yeah.
Now,
This is a really good movie in a sense that it gives perspective to like, you know, the both two point of view, right?
it is. It's a very political
amazing.
movie-ish.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it deals with the political
I don't know.
side of the heroes thing. Okay, moving on to the spoilers.
I don't know. Yeah, I was about to say, like, I don't know if it's political. Is it political or philosophical?
A little bit of both. I mean, you can't go one way without the other. Because when you're dealing with law, it's a little bit of philosophy and a little bit of politics and a little bit of morality. You know, like all these things mixed together.
I see.
Yeah.
I guess.
Okay, anyways. Going on to the character spoilers. Captain America, Iron Man. Completely different how when they first started off, right?
Yeah.
Iron Man is more like a obedient dog to the government. Captain America wants to do his own thing.
Flip the other way around, right? Yeah.
So how do you feel like that's a natural progression for these characters?
Well, the thing is, like, we we kind of talked about it earlier too, right? Tony Stark fucked up way too many times.
So yeah, so he's feeling that guilt.
He caused, yeah, and again, like even in the beginning of the movie, he is pretty much asked, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, well, like he pretty much asked for responsibility, right? Like as in like my son died because you didn't help him, kind of thing like that,
Oh, yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then he felt it, and he's like, yeah, well, this is not the first time I fucked up, and I know he's like very nonchalant and very, very, how do you call it, like light when it comes to like just whatever he's doing. He does it like very, but like deep inside, we know that he's very serious about this whole thing,
Yes.
right? But saving lives and the such.
Mhm.
So I can see it like this development happening.
Yes.
Because I think out of all the character in this franchise, the only one I can see that is steadily piling up stress and mental burden is Tony Stark. You could see it in each movie, in each iteration, that he's just getting more messed up in the head because of the weight of the. And I think that's the most, how to say this, natural. You know what I mean?
Yes.
The most humane way.
Yes.
Because he's a human with power that able to help other, but not the rest. You know what I mean? And the fact that he couldn't help the other people kind of weighed on his mind, especially because he's a hero.
Yeah.
And that's that mindset I really really like. But I also agree with like the change in Captain America in a sense that because he didn't, I mean, I wouldn't say change. It's just like his way of doing things since the beginning of the thing. He's about like helping people, right? Following the orders and whatever and whatnot, right? But then first and foremost, the first thing he does is to help people, right? And now just because the law is kind of like, against him, it would not get him in the way of doing what he's doing, which is helping people, right? And the fact that he has that firm, solid, like solid line of thought when it comes to that, to helping people, is what I like, because the whole time he's very, what do you call it? His mind is set, so to speak. Like he doesn't waver a lot.
He's very firm in what he wants to do.
Yeah, very firm. Yeah, that's right.
I think you brought up a good point, which is quite interesting, hey? Where Iron Man wants to save everyone, and when someone dies on his watch, he feels extremely guilty about it.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Captain America
It's very human,
is
that's why.
like almost the opposite. He understands that there's going to be death, and he kind of accepts it.
Exactly.
It's like a part of the job, almost.
Because I don't know if this is like a good because I don't really know, like I can't tell deep about the character, but it's like their two idea of heroes are completely different, right?
Yeah.
You can say that Iron Man idea of heroes is like Superman,
Yeah.
where you could protect everyone and everybody will survive and happily ever after, right? But for Captain America, it's more like a war hero. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He will fight, go, get victory at a loss, like even with sacrifices.
Yeah. Like he understands that.
Kind of thought, like a very more realistic. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, which is why Iron Man created all those like non-man suits, right? Like they're able to just fly around, do their own thing. Ultron was created because he wanted to put a shield around the Earth, so to speak. He wanted to prevent all this from ever happening, but he's just I don't know how to say it, like too insane with his ideas. I guess he's like too overboard, maybe.
Yeah,
too extreme.
Again, for me, it's not that I don't understand, because I understand why he would go that way too, because he's very human. You know what I mean? And he's afraid, right? So
after learning more about these heroes, which shoes would you be in, so to speak? Like, which hero are you?
Captain America, I'd say. Yeah.
You're still more Captain America, after all this time.
Yeah.
Team capped and you're capped.
Because at least his point of view matches with my what do you call it, ideology, I guess.
Oh, really? Yeah. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would. It's quite interesting because throughout the whole MCU, you're high on Iron Man the entire time, right? And then now Captain America has crept up to be your number one.
Yeah, because that's how. Yeah, because in here especially, right, with the whole dilemma, the moral and whatever. In here, he stands firm and goes with what he believes in, and that's just me in a nutshell, right? Yeah. I don't care about anything else. I just push through what I believe, and you know that.
Okay, good to know. Good to know. I have a Boshka's secret cell phone with this number in it, and I can call him anytime.
Yep. Whenever you need someone, yes, call us. No,
call us. Call this block number.
Yep.
604.
You'll be fine.
Perfect. Okay, so now moving on to the juicy bits, which of course the whole reason why everyone's so high on Civil War is because of the fight scene. So Team Captain America fighting Team Iron Man. Like, what do you think? What do you think of the team composition? What do you think of the action sequences? Like all the battles? What do you think?
The action sequence, I have no problem. I don't find anything that goes like, oh, what the hell?
Yeah.
Like several other, because like as you can see, like several movies before, the power balance is clearly off, right? How Black Widow pretty much dealing the same damage as Iron Man and Captain America. Against this fools, you know what I mean? Like it's kind of like it's clearly the power balance is off, and they're trying to like even it out by doing weird things, and you go like, hold up. When here you could clearly see how like strong Captain America becomes. You could punch people across like building, kick a car away. You could see that he is a super soldier, like he's a superhuman, right? And that is sick. And on this the battle too, right? What's his name? Nighthawk, was it?
Hawkeye.
Nighthawk is a completely different person. I'm sorry. Hawkeye versus Black Widow was a great match because both of them are pretty much normal human that has like battle capabilities, but they're normal human, right?
Yeah.
Their battle looks good until the special child doing something, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I got a feeling that child is the problem child,
She is. I mean, she's the whole reason why this
Kinda.
movie started. So.
Kind of. Like, I was like, yo. Like, I don't know. Because I don't know. This is probably a really shitty way to say it. But, like, if she wasn't in that fight, the battle would be more epic. You know what I mean?
Yes. But I understand why she's there. Because you want to move on from the fight. You don't want to keep showing all these fights, right? You still have a story to tell.
Yeah. Because I was like, God damn it, Wanda. Like, what the fuck? Like, that's just what I'm like, okay, punch, kick, okay, whoop, and then whoa, red goo, you got blown away. Oh, motherfucker. Okay, shoot, dodge, okay, cool, release, oh, red goo again, you got thrown away. I'm like, what the fuck? I don't know, it's just like, come on. Could have been cool. Why are you in the way?
I mean, Wanda did some cool shit too, right? Just using her
She
stuff.
does, but in my face, she's just like a hindrance by this moment. Like, girl, you're in the way.
Oh,
I don't care what cool shit you do, but god damn it.
yeah, I see what you mean. It's like
that.
you couldn't get to see the ending, so to speak, right? It gets cut short. Okay, let's talk about these three characters here because they're shown off more than what we've seen so far, or more of them. So Vision, War Machine, Ant-Man. Mm-hmm. I know with Ant-Man, all the silly, goofy stuff he did, you're laughing at his jokes and stuff. So did you find him better in this movie, like more goof?
Ant-Man?
Yeah.
No, he came out less goofy and more awkward. He's just awkward. He doesn't feel goofy at all. He feels awkward to me.
So like
he's like soup. He's like soup, early soup.
Not as bad though. I would feel. Soup.
Not as bad, but
is it like a good awkward or is it kind of like an awkward like I don't want to watch you?
No, it's like oh my god, like really, do you have to like it's like he's shaking the dude, right? Like when he did a handshake with Captain America, like when he was shaking, I could see it, like okay, he is shaking his hand for a long time.
Yeah,
and it's like I'm shaking your hand for a long time. I'm like, do you really have to say it? And then I go and then he starts squaring Capped up and when I'm like, what are you doing?
Because he's like
doesn't feel goofy. It feels awkward. That's what I mean.
He's like a social
like
idiot.
Goofy, like he is. That one I feel. But social idiot ain't goofy. He's awkward. Because like if it's goofy, it's like the Star-Lord. He's goofy. It's a completely different character set.
Yeah, but he's shown off a new suit, which I thought looked really cool, and new powers where he was able to grow into a giant man.
Big.
Yeah. What do you think of the giant man power?
It was great for a couple of seconds, right? When he was like holding
War Machine. Yeah.
Rhodes' leg for a bit and then throwing him left and right and stuff like that. The thing is, like, in this whole action scene, I like it because in his origin movie, we saw him that he becomes small, get into crack of armor, right, and disabling machinery and stuff, and he does it again in here. I thought that was really cool. That they kept their like main ability in a fight and then use it in an actual thing. I was like, god damn.
And then we'll go Vision. So Vision was able to show off a little bit more of his powers, like that phasing ability, laser beam, flying, that density thing. What do you think?
The thing is, like, I thought it was cool, like when Hawkeye. Jesus. When Hawkeye was like, trying to like abduct Wanda, doing a hand. But the thing is, like, I think that was the only cool part that he does, where he was like phasing, like beating people up by like phasing through. I thought that was like cool. But why are you bullying the weak, dude? That's not cool.
He's very strong.
He's just a normal dude. He's a normal dude. Just left retirement to like fix things up, and you just have to beat him up like that, like bro.
But he didn't really punch Hawkeye too
I know,
badly.
but like he was just like fending him off, and like I'm like, yo, you're flexing too much. Not fair. Kind of like that.
Yeah. Well, it got Wanda motivated to fight back, so that's really all that matters, right? And then of course we go to War Machine because he had a bit of a journey in this one. He was able to show off his weapons, all the missiles, all the machine guns.
Yeah, there's one part that was actually really cool when he goes like heavy arms. For those who don't know, heavy arm is a Gundam. He does the whole package open and starts shooting like insane stuff. That is what I want to see from a War Machine.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. When he unloads, it looks cool.
That's the only time. Where else in the movie so far is he ever full release?
Okay, let me ask you this. When was the last time he was actually had a big part in a movie?
When has he ever matter? Let's start with that.
Right? He needs to have a bigger role in these movies. He is a main character, but they just were...
Yeah, now he's paralyzed lower back, so he's done.
I mean, I don't know why they refuse to give him a bigger part. Well, actually, I can kind of understand, because he's like older, so he can't really do most of those stunts, maybe? I don't know.
Is that the setting? I don't think so. Iron Man could do it. They're not that far apart, age-wise, right?
Yeah, but it depends on the actor, too. Even Robert Downey Jr. said he can't do it forever. But, I don't know. I don't know what goes on behind the scenes. Maybe it's just a writing style choice. Who knows?
Maybe.
But what I would like to see is more War Machine, right? Because that part was cool. They were able to show him off properly, but then, like, that was like one in, like, what, fucking 20 movies that we watched? Yeah, so that sucks. I just want to briefly touch on Black Widow. Because you always repeatedly said you don't trust her, you think something's off with her. How about in this movie? Do you feel like she's more trustworthy or less trustworthy, in your opinion?
She feels more human. But again, right? When a spy feels humans, that's untrustworthy. You know what I mean? That's my indicator.
I mean,
if you see a spy and they behave like a human, don't trust them. If they shed tears, that means they're trying to trick you. If they smile warmly at you, that means they're trying to stab you in the back. Stuff like that.
I mean, she did betray Team Iron Man to go on Team Captain at the end.
So I mean, it is a thing, but
yeah,
I don't know, because for her, I think that's a rough position she's in, because she also thought that none of them are wrong, right?
She agreed with both.
She believed that both of them, yeah, she agrees with Captain America for the whole thing, but at the same time, I think she also sees what Captain America trying to do, right? Sorry, the other way around. So he kind of agrees with Iron Man, but she also see what Captain America is trying to do. Did I confuse myself? I think I did. Well, moving on.
Okay. Yeah, we get it. She agrees with both sides, but in the end, she chose to be on Team Captain because she has a better relationship with him, I believe. Right, that was the whole point of Winter Soldier.
Is it a relationship?
Yeah. More like a brother-sister type of relationship, not like a romantic relationship. Yeah.
I know. Oh no, I know that, but well, I guess Iron Man's not very good at keeping people around him.
No, I guess not.
Until Spider-Man, I guess.
Yeah, well,
right? Because I don't think he keeps anybody in a close circle to him, right?
I guess not. I think because it's the fear, the fear of losing somebody, right?
Yeah.
What else? Okay, now moving on to the newcomers, Spider-Man, Black Panther. What do you think of their roles in this movie?
Black Panther was cool, but he feels shallow.
What do you mean by shallow?
As in, like, he's very... I mean, I guess it's not a story about him, you know? He's a part of the story, but he's not...
He's not the main focus, yeah.
The main of the thing, so... It just feels like, you know, in the beginning he's here, like, yeah, talking about stuff. Father got murdered. I'm gonna get revenge. I'm gonna chase him to the end of the earth. I'm like, oh... I almost let anger consume me. I'm like, well, you did. Certainly did.
It's good that he recognizes
like,
that, though.
Cool. Yeah, it's good, but it feels shallow. Like, it doesn't, like, how do I feel this? It could be executed better, but then, again, I noticed that I'm asking too much for a movie where he's not the main character, you know what I mean?
And how about Spider-Man?
I want to say unexpected, but I already watched Spider-Man The Homecoming, so how do I say this?
Okay, let's say this. Does he fit the role? Because he's supposed to be more of a young teenager this time around, right? Does he feel like a young teenager?
Yeah, Because the Spider-Man I know is always like, university, and he's like super like
Yeah,
genius,
super genius,
right?
yeah.
Make all this thing and everything. Like he's like, yeah, that's why like in this one
He's super smart for sure.
he's super smart for sure, but like the stuff that he make through is very, how does this, like, I don't want to say basic because I can't make what he makes, but especially compared to like what Tony Stark is, right? The thing is like he only got his material from garbage. He plundered garbage and make things work, use it, and make his own stuff. You know what I mean? Which is cool, but I don't know. It kind of doesn't show his smart point. It shows that he's really strong physically and like athletically, like all the spidey sense and all the stuff. That was cool, but I don't know. Him as a Peter Parker hasn't been fleshed out yet.
Well, that's why they're gonna show him off in the movies, right?
Right.
So, okay, I'll say this. Originally, Black Panther was supposed to be kind of like a neutral character.
Okay.
Like, he was supposed to be... Okay, so let me start from the beginning. So, in the original Civil War storyline in the comics, Spider-Man was kind of like in the middle. He was Team Iron Man, but then he started switching over to Team Captain America, right? He was being pulled by both sides. So, in this movie, they wanted Black Panther to be in that role. Mainly because they didn't get that deal with Sony to use Spider-Man at the time. Now, from what I can remember, I'm not sure if this is true or not, or if I'm not remembering correctly, but from what I can remember is that they had 2 scripts ready. Because they were working behind the scenes to get Spider-Man, the deal through, right? So they had 2 scripts, one with Spider-Man and one without Spider-Man. And they were able to get the deal through, which is why they are able to use the one with Spider-Man. Now, because they're able to get Spider-Man in this movie, Black Panther's role was reduced to what he has originally, right? So as you can see when you're watching the movie, he had a pretty good role for a character that just got introduced, Black Panther. He got more screen time than Falcon and Buck. No, maybe not Bucky, but definitely more than Falcon, more than Ant-Man, more than Wanda, Hawkeye, more than War Machine, more than Widow. I would say more than Vision. Yeah.
I guess, yeah.
But
yeah, we don't really do too much.
Because Spider-Man was in there, he had to cut some time off from Black Panther.
I see. But I mean, again, I think, I don't know, because it's probably hindsight or whatever. Probably that's why.
So it's easier to say like, oh, maybe this is why, because we know all the facts after, right? But at that time, I would say, I mean, it's a good like prequel to his movie, so to speak.
Yeah.
To both their movies, Spider-Man and Black Panther. But I will say this, the introduction to Black Panther was cool. He had all the cool lines. He was a pretty cool character.
Yeah, his suit looks really cool too.
He reminds me of a Power Ranger suit. And then Spider-Man. Yeah, he's Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, I think, kind of makes me go, whoa.
Really?
How the eye go small, like, small and wide. Yeah, that kind of go like, oh, what the hell?
Yeah, that wasn't done before. But now they're able to change that, the eye's size with the comic books.
Oh, so is that what they were aiming for? Make it feel like the comic book? So, like, to show the expression kind of thing?
Yeah, I guess so. I think because Deadpool did it too.
I don't know, but Deadpool eye isn't, like, Spidey big, right?
It's not Spidey big, but you can see the expression in his eyes. Like, they can go big and stuff.
But because Deadpool, like, the eye is, like,
like normal size.
Is, the normal size. So, like, when he's making an expression, it feels like a human making an expression. But Spidey eye lens thing is, like, pretty much covering a third of his face, right?
Yeah.
And there's 2 of them. So when it starts shrinking and stuff, they go like, whoa.
Interesting. Oh, really?
What the hell?
So that's the one where it's just like, oh, good job, MC.
Oh, what the heck?
I mean, that's the comic book style, right?
I suppose.
As you can already tell, we're starting to move into that more comic booky territory with Black Panther, Ant-Man.
And I like it. That's the thing. Yeah.
Okay, moving on to our final character, which is, of course, the main big bad guy who didn't actually lift a finger physically to do anything. And yet he still won. So, Baron Zemo. What do you think of our Baron here?
I kind of like the way he does things.
Yeah, I knew you would like the villain.
Very, very efficient, very
methodical.
I like it. Yeah. He knows that he's weak, so what he does is simply drive a pin and let the fold fall on itself. So smart. I like it.
Oh yeah, when he said that, I was like,
it's very smart.
Yeah, it is very smart. And I like what he said too, where it's like, if an empire falls, it can rebuild itself. But
exactly, when it falls from within, it won't come back again. I'm like, oh yeah, I agree. I've been on both sides.
Okay, so, here's the thing about Zemo in the comics. Zemo in the show is anti-Hydra, anti-Super Soldier.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But Zemo in the comics, he's actually a Hydra soldier. So I thought it was quite interesting how they twisted it and made him just like a normal human who
Mm-hmm.
kind of hates Hydra, but not really.
Mm-hmm.
He's more anti-superhero than he is anything else because he shot those 5 super soldiers in the head.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, do you agree with his? I guess you don't agree with his philosophy that there shouldn't be any superheroes. Superheroes shouldn't exist.
Oh no! Superheroes can exist. It's just again like any kind of weapon, but they shouldn't be considered as a human. That's that's what I'm saying. They shouldn't be considered as human. They shouldn't be be treated as a human because they're definitely not. You know what I mean? You're like, wait, what do you mean? Where are you going with this? Because they're not. They can be treated as human. There's something beyond. They're weapons, right? And weapons are depending on who's using them, right? No weapons are bad depending on who's using them.
Well,
If the one who's using it is good, using it for good, of course it's amazing things to do. But if the one who's using it is greedy, manipulative, very, agenda heavy, bunch of, shitheads, as you can see in many countries and many people, then that might be a bigger threat than a peacekeeper, you know what I mean?
well, what if there's a?
But if I'm asked,
Sorry, go. You can finish your thought.
oh, well, if I'm being asked whether they should exist or not, I said yes, they should, because I think the world would be a lot more funner that way.
Well, I was gonna say
Imagine the chaos. Imagine the mayhem. Sorry, you're saying.
I was gonna say as long as they're being controlled and stuff, right? Well, 114 countries controlling you. I mean, there's no corruption there, right? 114 countries.
That's what I mean, right? In what condition will that ever work out? In that 140 country, there's one, the superpower countries, right? They're gonna have more voice in what to do than the other, right? In the end of the day, it's just agenda of who's gotta use the big weapon now, right? And that's why I don't agree to the signing thing. It's because of that, because it's not fair. If it's completely fair, is in the sense that I don't know how you make 140 a fair. Don't it exist, but that's what I'm saying.
As Captain America said, he was gonna sign it, but there needed to be some contingency. He said, right? There needs to be some other stuff in there that has to make sense. Okay. Did you find that Zemo is your favorite villain so far? Aside from Loki, I think that's your other favorite villain, right?
Yeah, Loki's cool. Loki, and what's his name? Zemo.
Oh, I see. So that's your type. You like the brainy guys, not so much as physical, but the brainy, smart guys with plans.
I don't say smart, but they're very I like smart villains, like the genius one that barely lit a finger, but could wreak so much chaos. That's the best.
Okay. I just like the cool looking villains, and so far none of the villains look that cool.
I don't know because I don't know. I kind of like Ultron. Ultron looks cool, I think.
Oh yeah, but I prefer his comic book look, where he's more robotic, evil look.
Yeah, for me I don't like it. It looks very bland.
It's too generic, right?
He's like a generic robot. You know what I mean? I'm like, no. If you could add more spike, more dent, more shape, I think that's cool.
But as we continue to watch more of these movies, maybe there'll be a cool looking villain or something. Who knows? Actually, no, there is. I do like the Black Panther villain, but we'll get there. When we get there. Actually, and I also like this.
When we get there, I was going to say why are you bringing this up right now?
And the Spider-Man villains. I really love the Spider-Man villains, but we'll as yeah.
I don't remember.
Get there. Okay. Okay. Now that being said, overall, did this movie held up to this day? I think this movie came out in 2016, 2017-ish. I think I forget. Yeah,
5 years ago. I'd say so. It's a enjoyable watch. I actually fell asleep because my sleeping schedule was messed up, but I don't think I missed a lot of important parts.
No, I don't think so. You fell asleep during the expositions, so it's fine.
I think the exposition is pretty important, isn't it?
I mean, you fell asleep, you still got the story, so.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is I woke up and then suddenly Iron Man got this bruise across his face. I'm like, what the fuck happened? He's like, Winter Soldiers punch him. Oh.
I mean, it was a fight scene, but it wasn't a crazy fight scene, No one was wearing their armor or suits or whatever, right?
Iron Man wasn't wearing a suit and got punched in the face with a metal arm. Good God.
Yeah, I would say this movie holds up, and if you're doing an MCU marathon, I would watch this one because this feels like an Avengers 2.5.
Yes, and it's really good. It's really fun to watch too.
And also that, not only that, but it progresses the story. Because this plot point is important. How they're disassembled at the end.
If you're watching the whole thing, but if you're just wanna be just a fan, you're not really trying to do the marathon like what we're doing right now. Yeah. Just want to watch it. It's a good movie because it has a good balance between a moral and an actual action scene. The conflict within themselves and the physical battle too. I think it portrayed really well in this movie. Got a good balance.
Oh, I just remembered something. So a lot of people didn't like part of the movie where was Zemo's plan because they thought it was too like perfect, if that makes sense. Like
What do you mean? Too
his
perfect?
plan has to be like executed perfectly for it to work to get to that point. And
How so?
people thought it was just like it was too convenient and too for him to pull it off, kind of thing.
Have you never read Death Note before? Jesus.
Like to me, watching the movie, I was just like, I don't really care. It's a dumb movie. Like you know, you can't expect it to be,
watch it,
like,
you enjoy
super,
it. Yeah.
Yeah, to be super realistic.
If he pulled it off like perfectly, he did. Suck it. You know.
Yeah, just contributed to the fact that he's a very smart guy who can plan shit, right?
Yeah, he's weak. He said it himself. He can't fight.
Yeah.
But he's a villain of like of a movie called Civil War, where he brought like one big group into a fight. So he has to be good at something. You can't just expect it's just a normal dude coming back from like a fucking grocery store and like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna mess up the Avenger. Like, you know, like it's just you can't just do it. Has to be some sort of genius. Come on, give the dude a credit.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So I honestly had no problems with it. I'm just like, whatever. I mean, it made Zemo look cool. So that's all that matters to me. Okay. Now moving on to the finishing touch is, of course, your final score. What would you rate it?
I'll probably give it an 8.
Okay.
Probably an 8. 7.5 or 8. I think 8 is good.
For me, I would go 8.5. Yeah, I'll go 8.5. Mainly because story-wise, progression-wise, it's pretty good. But all the characters that were able to fight, get the screen time, because that was the whole point of this movie. It was just to watch these heroes fight each other and show off their abilities.
Yeah, and I think that's the good part.
Yeah.
The interaction between these heroes are like what makes it really cool, right?
Yeah, exactly. Not only them fighting each other, but them bantering with each other. Like it all flowed pretty well. So that's for me. That's why it's 8.5. And it won't go any higher than that because it's not that strong of a movie, I would say. But it is one of the stronger MCU movies.
Yeah, no, seriously. It's better executed than the rest that we've watched so far.
Okay, and I think that's it. I have to say, I don't really have much nitpicks about this movie, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't.
And
Really
I think I said my mind too in the beginning part of the whole movie too.
Yeah.
So
All right. So, Bosh, any last words?
it's great. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
What I wish is that there's like next time when they like maybe the Avenger got like even a bigger roster with like Hulk, Thor, and like just everybody from like the newer people that join in.
Yeah.
And do another Civil War. I mean that would be pretty cool. Let's see how many people will die.
Interesting. Well, if they had Hulk and Thor, if they had Hulk and Thor, which team would you think they'd be on? Hulk for sure would be on Team Captain America.
Hulk in Team Captain America?
Yeah.
You think?
I think so. There's no way he would be like signing with the government. He was trying to run away from them the whole time.
Well, because they were chasing after him, right?
Yeah, he wants that freedom. Hulk.
Well, that's the thing. Like that's what I'm saying. Like because he also hates Hulks, right? Remember?
Yeah, but remember this: Hulk hates government. Banner might love government, but Hulk hates government. They're two different people.
Well, that doesn't matter because the thing is like most of the time, like the when he's not angry, the one in control is Banner, right?
When he's
I think he'll be in Team America for sure.
Team Captain America.
And then. And then for me, Thor would be on. It'll be with Iron Man. Like Banner would be with Team Iron Man, and Thor would be with Captain America. That's my
Banner on.
That's my view.
Okay, Banner on Team Iron Man, but then when he transforms into Hulk, he's gonna go switch to.
Yeah,
Captain
well,
yeah.
Yeah, that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Or Hulk just like try to stop the fight by pretty much punching everybody in the face. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Thor.
And then pretty much Thor was there to like stop him, kind of thing. So they're just like beating each other up.
Yeah. Thor, I would say, would be on Team. I don't know actually. Team Iron Man probably.
Because he has no business with the human government. You know what I mean?
Right. But at the end of the day,
so he would not be in Team Iron Man.
But he still wants to be like a proper king kind of thing. I guess being a proper king would be like signing stuff. I guess I don't know.
You think? Maybe. Well, we'll never know.
Yeah. Okay. Since we're on the subject, anyways, power levels, because we're starting to see like all these Avengers coming together, and we can see like varying levels of power levels. So, who do you think is the strongest Avenger on this roster as of this moment.
On this, like, do we include Thor and Hulk?
Yes,
or
we include
no?
Thor and Hulk.
I think right now the strongest one would be... Ooh, I don't know. Might be Thor. Thor and then Hulk. Simply because Hulk don't fight with technique, right? Well, yeah. Well, Thor has, battle experience and he fought like bigger enemies. I think if they fought, I think Thor would win by now. Unless, they actually, trying to kill each other like for real. Then, by beating up Hulk more and more, it just pisses off Hulk more, right? And he'll get stronger and stronger, right? I think that's when Thor will lose.
Yeah. I would actually say the reverse. I would say it would be Hulk and then Thor. Now, the reason why I say this is because I have the power of hindsight. I know what happens in Thor 3.
Huh.
Yeah, so that is why I say Hulk is stronger than Thor.
I don't remember anything, so...
Which is good. That's good. So as of right now, Hulk is stronger than Thor, in my opinion. And then number 3 can be Vision. But Vision is quite up there because I don't think anyone can touch him if it wasn't for Wanda.
Well, I mean, the thing is, again, I don't think it doesn't matter how, like, hard you punch, like, Vision punch Thor or Hulk. I don't think they'll take that much damage, you know what I mean?
Right. But then they can't hurt him either because he can just phase through everything.
I don't know, I got a feeling there'll be, like, one point where he slip up. Like Vision will, like, maybe when he try to punch, they just punch him back the fist or, like, hit the fist and it'll break the fist,
Also, I don't know. Since Vision can phase through things, he can phase through someone's body and then grab their heart.
That's the thing, right? Are they going in for the kill, like killing each other,
I mean,
or what?
if they had to, I guess.
Because if they're trying to kill each other, I don't think anybody can beat Hulk. Because even if Vision tried to phase through and grab Hulk's heart, I think Hulk heart is just really hard to rip off. I'm just gonna tell you that.
Hulk heart has like 5.
Just because you can touch it doesn't mean you can rip it off. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, which is why I say as of right now, Hulk is probably the strongest.
Yeah, because if they're trying to kill each other, then nothing could beat Hulk.
Okay, I think we rambled on nerd talk enough. I might edit that part out.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else you'd like to add before we sign off? Okay.
Nah, I think that's it.
Okay. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, and what else? Email us if you have any questions, comments, concern. We update our podcast every Tuesdays. What else? One day we'll go back.
No promise from me.
One day we'll start streaming and uploading on YouTube again. I don't know. Maybe sooner than later.
Eventually, yeah. Maybe we'll start moving on. Sooner and later, yeah.
But until then, just catch us on our podcast. I'll try to update our shit if I can remember.
Both of us can't be bothered to do it too.
Okay, Bosh, do the outro.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening. This is Bosh here.
This is Alex.
And this is Fool's Odyssey, episode 14. And thank you for listening. See you again next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.